I'm older than all my cousins, so I got to watch how they grow up. And when I was a kid, we had TV, but it just had the free channels, like the news channels. So we didn't really use it. It was like one of those square TVs. It's literally like the the thickness of the TV is like the same size as the width. It was crazy. I was born in 2006, so smartphones and tablets did exist at that time, but they weren't very mainstream and we didn't have them. When I look at my younger cousins, I see one thing in common. They all refuse to eat their food unless their parents let them watch something on an iPad or something just to kind of like distract them while their parents feed them. Now, obviously, this isn't the kid's fault. What probably happens is that the first couple of times that the baby is like, they try to make the baby eat, the baby refuses. So, in order to kind of make the baby eat, they distract them with a screen and then they eat. And then next time, you know, that the baby has to eat, it realizes, well, maybe it doesn't do this uh like on purpose, but it either has the option to eat its food or cry and then get to watch cocomelon. This is a huge problem because it isn't just when they're eating, and this is really sad because kids that can barely even speak yet are becoming addicted to screens. As you know, the younger years in a child's life are very crucial to their development. We have this thing in our brain called dopamine. It's what gives us pleasure and gives us motivation to do things. We get very high amounts of dopamine from technology, which is why we use it and why it's so addictive. However, we cannot get nearly the same amount of dopamine we get from technology as we do in the real world. So, when you overuse technology, your dopamine receptors get damaged, and real life just isn't as pleasurable as the virtual world. At that point, only drugs or technology can give you enough pleasure that will be enough to suffice for your needs. This is something that now happens regularly in teenagers and adults because of technology. The first 3 years of a child's life is when most of brain development happens. I'm no scientist, but these kids being exposed to technology at a young age is definitely not good. Before their brain is even fully developed, their brain is being bombarded with so much dopamine that it's definitely going to have bad consequences in the future. Kids that age should be playing with other kids and just learning how to be a person. Obviously, I've never had kids, so it's not really my place to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Parents are becoming lazy when it comes to raising their kids, and now technology is raising their kids. Any kid born after 2010 is Generation Alpha. Many people have nicknamed this generation the iPad generation. My generation, Gen Z, is already pretty bad when it comes to our short attention spans and terrible social skills and just skills in general at life. Smartphones and tablets only became mainstream when we were about 5 to 10 years old. Gen Alpha, however, was born into this. Considering how broken my generation is, I can't even imagine what Gen Alpha is going to turn out like.